Now the question becomes, what happens if the market and when it corrects? As our homie Zandy puts it, right now, it doesn't feel like the economy's perched on a strong foundation. It's perched on a few poles that are sticking up. And if one of those poles gets knocked out, then the whole economy gets knocked down. And it's scary because he's right. The stock market right now is being carried by a handful of tech companies investing heavily in AI. Job growth is being carried almost entirely by the healthcare sector. And consumer spending, remember, 70% of GDP is again being carried only by the top 10%. And when that top 10% is continuing to own more and more stocks to a tune of around 624,000 more than just 3 years ago, because the stock price keeps going up and up, now the question becomes, what happens if the market and when it corrects? And as I'm writing this, especially with what's going on with the war, if this now leads to some sort of collapse and they start pulling back their money, there's not really going to be anything underneath to catch that fall. And I haven't even mentioned the middle class that used to be the backbone of this economy and country. And there's a reason why there isn't any even space for them on the K. And it's because the middle class is actively shrinking. What used to be 61% in 1971 is now 51% today. And most of those people falling out of the middle class aren't moving up, they're sliding down in the bottom part. And like I talked about earlier, we've already seen this movie with the Great Depression, where the asset class will inevitably benefit from the crash and recovery, while even years after, the non-asset class stood in breadlines. And what scares me most is that right now, the S&P 500 and consumer sentiment are forming that exact same shape. So what's clear is that even with this strong economy that we see today, what it doesn't describe is the 330 million people that make up this country. What it more so describes is the 33 million. But hey, at least the Dow is over 50,000, right?